All right, Alex, we've got a real guest today, so don't say anything stupid. All right.
So rude to all of our other guests.
It is. Hello, and welcome to Deep Cuts the Game, the movie trivia podcast where I give my three guests. I know, it's been a while, Alex. 3 guests, 3 different movies, and they try to come up with the most random, obscure, or minor actors from those films. The deeper the cut, the more points they get. I'm your host, Jeff Penn, and with me as always, or at least until he gets that callback for that job at the Keebler Elf tree.
Oh, you stumbled over your own insults.
I know, I should have written it down. Alex Young. Hey, Alex, how's it going?
Great, because you didn't land the joke, so that's wonderful for me.
But
I'm good, Jeff. It's
in edit though, Alex. It's going to be perfect.
I hope it's like so clearly 80-yard in post. I'm good, Jeff. It's autumn. I love autumn. Happy Halloween.
It's pumpkin spice time for everyone.
So as you know, October is my favorite season, and I will defend October as a season.
Okay, I was going to say it's not.
No, it is for sure. Sam knows what I'm talking about. Mostly because of horror movies, which I watch all year round. Mm-hmm. But what I really like in October is like everybody starts watching horror movies, which is really fun for me because so many people are like, "Ooh, what should I watch?" Which is a loaded question because I'll be like, "Well, like, what are you in the mood for? How much do you want to not be able to sleep? What are your biggest fears and regrets?" And eventually they're like, "Never mind, I'm just gonna watch, smile, and carry on with my day." But for all our shows in October, Jeff, I want to talk to you about different subgenres in horror. So today, it felt fitting to talk about alien movies. And somewhat sci-fi, but alien movies. So my question for you, and I'll go first because I love hearing my own voice. What is your favorite alien movie? And if the answer is different, the scariest. Because they don't necessarily have to be the same. So my favorite is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I think it is a near perfect movie. I've seen it theatrically. Anytime the Cineplex does like the favorites, whatever, I drag people who have never seen it to watch it because it's phenomenal. It's a great Spielberg movie. The score is incredible. I could talk about that movie forever. But the scariest one with a similar title is The Fourth Kind, which I think was 2009. Mila Jovovich and Elias Koteas and Will Patton. And my mom and I rented this when it came out from Jumbo Video. And as you know, I grew up in the middle of nowhere, like very rural. So my biggest fear growing up, which was the most legitimate fear you could have as a country kid, is being abducted. I was so scared of it, and so was my mom. And I don't mean by people. I mean like straight up alien abduction. Genuine fear that I had. And my mom and I watched this movie, and she did not sleep with the TV off for an entire week. That is true. It wasn't until I could prove to her on the internet that this movie is not a documentary, but it's like a found footage movie hybrid that is fake. She was so certain that it was just like, well, we're never sleeping again. And I'm like, agreed. This is a nightmare. But it's awesome. Anyway.
Couldn't you have just shown her like Mila Jovovich's like music video for like The Gentleman Who Fell and be like, this is Mila Jovovich. She clearly wasn't abducted by aliens.
No, because that's not how this is structured, man. It's like recreations
of
like the thing. And then they juxtapose it with the actual footage. And it's so effective. It's a really scary movie. It is not very well reviewed. But I have not watched it since because... that's nightmare fuel, buddy.
I think you might have talked me into watching this a couple years ago, and I got to the end of it. I was like, "Oh, that was a pile of garbage."
That's incorrect. That's incorrect.
I will give you just one movie, so I'll try to combine it into one. Because as a kid, I can remember watching. It was like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but it was like something about like it was a little kid, something from Mars. But don't even worry about that. I'm just going to say Invasion of the Body Snatchers, like the 70s version with like Donald Sutherland, because to me, not only is it a great movie, but it also seems the most realistic. Like if aliens were actually going to come here, it would just be some sort of spore that like covers the globe and takes us over. Like anytime they show up in alien like ships and stuff like that, and we always beat them with like throwing water on them or something like, I'm like, I think the aliens would have done their research and known that the Earth is like 70% water. Like maybe we should get some suits that will protect us from this thing. As much as I love signs, that was kind of stupid. But I would say Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Alex. That would be my favorite alien on Earth movie, we'll say.
I can't argue. That is a great movie. And the final shot of Don Sutherland is terrifying.
Well, and the best part of is the first shot in Invasion of the Body Snatchers is, I can't remember the actor's name. It's something Kevin, and he is the lone survivor from like the 1950s, like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. He's the guy that gets away, and he's the guy running down the street in San Francisco, and he's like, they're all after me. And Donald Sutherland's like, I'm sure the police will take care of it. And it's like,
That's fun. Not. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there you go. Deep cuts, Alex.
But you didn't know his name, so you don't get any points.
It's Kevin something for sure, which would be good enough for points, Alex.
That's true.
We've got a very exciting show today. So without further ado, I'm going to bring back, I believe it's for her 4th appearance on Deep Cuts, previous winner, Sam Barry. Hi, Sam.
Hi. Not always a winner, though. Let's be clear for anybody that was thinking that I am a ringer. I'm not.
Well, thanks for coming back, Sam. Now, Alex, the problem with getting, and I, like you said, I don't want to throw any shade at our previous guests. We've had some pretty good guests, but as you start getting better guests, they start having resumes and stuff that make me feel bad about myself when I read it out loud. So I'm going to read it. It was much longer. I had to paraphrase it because, much like Craig Smeaton's, it couldn't fit in an hour-long program if I didn't like cut it down a little bit. So if I've missed anything up, please let me know after. Okay, so let's see if I don't mess this up. Ever wondered what's out there in the cosmos? Our next guest sure has, and she's made it her mission to explore everything from UFOs to ancient civilizations, all while running VOCAB Communications and racking up PR awards like they're Pokémon. By day, she's a PR genius. By night, she's chasing the mysteries of the universe as the host of Rebelliously Curious. She's been everywhere. History Channel, HGTV, even HBO Max, where she's now hosting Alien Encounters Fact or Fiction. Oh, and she just casually won the Canadian Podcast Award for the Best Science Series because, of course, she did. Welcome to the show, Chrissy Newton.
Thank you so much. And also, I'm going to change my bio to that one now. Racking them up like collecting Pokemon. I believe that's what it was. That's my favorite bio line. I'm changing it now.
It's all yours. It's all yours. Well, thank you I didn't even know there was Canadian Podcast Awards. Alex, are we nominated for any Canadian Podcast Awards?
I assume we swept whatever categories we were in.
Mm-hmm. Yes, probably. Chrissy, thanks so much for being on the show. I did just watch because I picked up Discovery Plus on Prime, and so I watched a bunch of Alien Encounters. So I have so many questions for you about that, but I also don't want to spoil the show for anyone. But you seem like you're much more the skeptic, where your host, I believe it's Mitch, is much more a believer. And so it's a nice little back and forth between the two of you.
Yeah, I say debunker rather than skeptic, because skeptics usually like don't follow the UFO, or they do follow it, but they're like, nothing's actually out there. I do believe that something is going on. But yes, Discovery made us kind of be the opposite of each other. But I look at more of the data. That's really what I am. I'm the data person. But I also do that with my podcast and also with my writing at the Debrief. So I try to look at data. We look at reports, but Mitch comes from a cultural perspective and a history perspective, where I try to come at it as a data perspective. But let's be honest, Mitch and I, no one can tell you 100% that you've seen a UFO, right? It's unidentified. So usually it's like less than 1% are actual UFO sightings. So it's hard to say. We had a collection of them. We sorted through a bunch, and then we came to the ones that we had in the first series of this show. So hopefully we get a second series, and then we get even more cases that we get to narrow down. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And yeah, I guess I am the debunker on the show. I always said, don't make me the Simon Cowell of UFOs. I'm like, please don't. But that's just the way it's gone. So, but if you listen to my podcast, I talk to people and scientists and theologians and you name it about the UFO topic, all the way from theoretical scientists all the way down to people that are filmmakers. So yeah, it's a fun topic, and people will be so surprised how wide or how many people are in the counterculture of UFOs.
My favorite part was, I believe there was one where the guy came in and he really didn't have much proof, and you pretty much were like, I can't, to me, it's not a UFO. And Mitch was like, you know what? You seem like a good guy. I believe your story. And it's like almost like the person had told them they had seen a deer in their backyard, and you went out and were like, listen, there's no deer tracks here, there's no fur, there's no sign of a deer. And Mitch was like, if he saw a deer, he saw a deer, I believe it. I'm like, I get it, a deer, I believe. But this one was like, Mitch was like, you seem like a good dude, you saw a UFO. Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
They make us good cop, bad cop. Yes. I'm the bad cop, right?
Yes.
Which, is not really who I am in my real life. But for sure, like if I'm looking at data, I can go off testimony, but testimony is only one data point. You need a lot more. But the one thing I was a little bit worried about filming the show is that I don't want someone leaving believing that they have supernatural powers or abilities. And that's something I really, try to make sure that, or try to convey when I'm doing podcasts or doing any type of interview, is that nobody can tell you, just because Mitch and I say that doesn't mean that we're 100% accurate. Because leaving there and people thinking that they're able to talk to what they think is extraterrestrial, just because it's a UFO means unidentified flying object, doesn't mean that it can't be unidentified, and probably will be identified. But it also doesn't mean it's extraterrestrial. It also doesn't mean it's interdimensional, ultra-terrestrial, whatever theory it may be. So telling somebody that they potentially are able to talk to something that could be space junk is a little scary on my end. So I'm glad I'm in the seat I'm in, because I just don't want to be the person that's telling them that they can talk to what they think might be extraterrestrial, because we don't even know if that exists.
Well, yeah, and I believe some people have even felt that it may be planet, or a spiritual thing. Like some of them have felt that it's like something from heaven or something like that. They've spoken to their I think it was that guy, maybe he spoke to his father or something like that who had passed away. And I was like, oh, you don't want to tell him no, but how can you prove that? My other favorite was the family that came on that had the video of something they saw being dropped, like lights appearing in the sky. And immediately it was like, oh, that's Skylink or whatever. Or, it was like the satellites being dropped. And you were like, yeah, we can show that here on the internet. This is when they all came out. And they're like, I don't know. I don't buy it. And I was like, oh, come on, just Google that. And you might have saved yourself a trip to Roswell. But
they were a dial-up family through and through.
Yes.
100%. They're a rural family doing dial-up. That's the way I grew up too. So I'm with you on that, Alex. But in their defense, let's be honest, I've spoken to many pilots too that can't identify Starlink. And there's a huge problem with that, like a massive problem. Pilots that are commercial, privates that are private, or even that are working within the government, they're even having a hard time. So the question is who's responsible for communicating this? Is it the FAA, or is it Starlink, or is it the American government? So, or the Canadian government, or anybody that's working in any body of governing air. So it's, I don't blame them. It's hard, but now that we, things are getting out and we start to see videos, Starlink is being you're able to identify Starlink better than most people have in the past years. Sorry, my lack of words today. Podcaster. Late for me.
No worries.
I wonder if we're going to see more and more reports as, between SpaceX and Boeing and all the other companies, like as, the orbit essentially gets more and more crowded, if we're just going to see an uptick of reports and it's like, oh no, that's just this test, whatever. That's this capsule. That's just Richard Branson zipping around.
Always Richard Branson.
Yeah. And there's so many great apps now where you can just like get the satellite app and you just hold it up to the sky and you'd be like, oh yeah, it's Starlink, or that's Venus, or that's Mars, whatever, right? Like everyone can be an astronomer now. So
for sure. And there is this uptick. I did the story with Micah Hanks where Ben Hansen, he's from the Discovery Channel as well. He seeded it to us, and it was over 50 cases of unidentified flying objects from the FAA, or even just pilots that are coming from commercial airlines. So we tracked all of them with Ben Hansen, and some were Starlink, but some weren't. And so, we're having this massive cluster of people reporting, and we had all the audio too coming from the FAA and also coming from all different types of commercial airlines. That's public use, right? You have to FOIA some of it, but some of it is also public. So yeah, you're right, Alex. Like it's really hard right now to track, which is kind of wild. There's a lot going on in space and in our own airways that we don't even really
Alex, I just realized the second worst part of having an interesting guest is what they're talking about is more interesting than the stupid game we're about to play.
100%.
And
this
it's
happened
like
with Dan Riskin too. Anytime we get someone Discovery adjacent, it's
when Dan was on, I was like, oh, I could have used like an hour with you, but we had to play this game, so we just had to like run through it. So, why don't we hop into our dumb game? And
if we have to, I guess.
If we have to, yes. All right. So first up, I'm thinking of a movie. I would like you to try to guess what movie it is. It has nothing to do with aliens at all. So, Chrissy, since you're our newest player, what movie am I thinking of?
E.T.
She clearly had that one loaded up, ready to go before, but that's fine.
It's too late to pivot.
It could still be the closest. You never know.
You said an alien movie, right?
No, it's not.
Sorry. I said an alien movie.
No, it is not an alien movie. If you would like to re-guess, by all means,
that was for practice. Don't worry. Next
one. You know it's late in Toronto when. Say it one more time again. Sorry.
Okay, so what movie am I thinking of? And I'll tell you this: it has nothing to do with aliens. I think
it has to do with aliens.
No, it has nothing to do with aliens.
Requiem for a Dream.
I feel like someone's guessed that one before, don't you, Alex? Maybe not.
But it's as far from aliens as you can get. So
it is
solid guess.
Sam, what is your guess?
I'm debating between two. I'm just gonna go with my heart, and because it is ever so slightly close to Halloween, and I feel like maybe it would be a good costume for me one day. Hook. And yes, I want to be Captain Hook one day.
Okay. That was my follow-up question. Like, who from this movie?
Or Peter Pan, or...
Specifically with like crazy eyebrows, the Hook eyebrows, the whole bit. Yeah.
I would want to be Robin Williams, but in the first like 20 minutes when he's just in like a button-down shirt and khakis. Like just regular guy.
Well, it's like, I think the one year at work I went as Iron Man, but as Tony Stark with just like a dress shirt. And then I had the arc thing in my chest.
So it's just the best you've ever dressed for work.
It was, yes. Alex, what is your guess? What movie am I thinking of?
Are you thinking of The Mist?
No. In fact, the movie I was thinking of was We Bought a Zoo. Why? There is a reason, Alex. I was walking a dog and there was a budgie, like a domestic budgie on the street. And I felt so bad for him because clearly he had gotten out. Like it wasn't like a yellow finch or anything. This was a budgie. And there was nothing I could do about it. It was like green and yellow. He was much too bright to be like a domestic Ontario bird. And I couldn't do anything about it. And I just started thinking about like end of the world. And you know how you're always like, oh man, if the world ended, I'd have to let all the animals out of the zoo kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, but then they'd want to eat me. And so I was just thinking about that. And then I was like, well, what kind? And I was like, oh, We Bought a Zoo. So that's how I got there, Alex. All right. We Bought a Zoo. I'm going to say for some reason, Hook is the closest because I don't think the other
Family
two
movie?
You couldn't watch with children. So Sam, would you like to go first, second, or third?
I'm going to stick with second. I wish a little bit I knew what movies they were because then I would be like, oh, I'll choose this one because
Yeah, of course.
I know. That would be nice, but no.
I'm Alex, just because I want to mess with you, I'm going to give Chrissy choice.
Of course. No, that's completely reasonable.
First or third? Chrissy, where would you like to go?
Third, please.
That's smart. Yeah, that's smart. All right, Alex, you're in the number one spot.
Burdened with first.
All right. So here's your three movies. One of them is very, very deep. The other two, not as much. I also tell you this, Chrissy, Sam, and Alex, that there is one actor that appears in more than one movie. If you happen to say that actor's name or guess them, you get the points for both movies. So don't struggle trying to think too hard about who it is, but if you happen upon it, it's double points potentially. So the very, very, very deep movie is from 1996, the Tim Burton classic, Mars Attacks. The less deeper movies are from 2004, and it is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. And because I like keeping it fun for the kids who are listening, there's no kids listening, the 2010 animated feature, Megamind.
I've never seen that.
You haven't seen Megamind? I would love to describe it to you.
And I haven't seen it since.
Really? I mean,
yeah.
It's an A-list cast. So
oh, good.
Great. No one's going to guess from it.
Can I at least know what movie studio made or
I think
released
it's
Megamind?
DreamWorks.
I think it's a
Thank
DreamWorks.
you.
It's by the same people who did like Kung Fu Panda and that sort of thing.
Thank
And
you.
Sam, you have a clicky pen, Sam.
Yeah. Is
Could
it
you
annoying?
stop? Could you stop clicking it?
I don't
think-
think. Hold on. Let me go grab something else because I think it just clicks on its own.
No, it
I'll
doesn't.
be right back.
Is it a
does.
haunted pen?
Yeah.
Like.
Oh, okay.
It does.
clicks on-
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So I'll be right back. Hold on.
I think the last time we had Sam on, I had to take out so many clicks because it was just so. I was like, "What is going on? Is that me? Is it my desk moving?" I'm like, "No, it's Sam's clicky pen every time she's writing down a name."
I thought that was also such like a bold excuse of like, no, the pen just clicks itself.
And then she did it, and it clicked. Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I might cut this out, Alex, but today there was a little kid when I was working, and he ran up to me after the show, and he was like, "Kamala Harris or Donald Trump?" And this kid was at the oldest, grade 3, and I was not sure what answer he wanted to hear. And when I told him my answer, he was like, "Oh!" And he ran away and told his friends. And I was like, "Uh-oh, like, what have I done?" So
That's how they're doing like snowbird voting in the States, is they just hired all these like third graders to just go and take a tally, and they're going to run it back across the border.
yeah. All right. So Sam is back with an unclicky pen, and she clearly didn't stop by her laptop and look up IMDb for all these 3 movies, right, Sam?
No, I didn't.
She did not.
I left my phone here. I didn't cheat. I should have because I don't even know if I've seen 2 of these. So it's going to be real 1s and 2s for me.
All right, Alex, you're on the clock. What's your first deep cut?
I'm going to pull from Eternal Sunshine because I feel like it's my best bet for deep cuts. And take Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood as kind of like a secret boyfriend of one of the lead characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Elijah Wood for 6 points, Alex. 6 points. Chrissy, just to let you know, we go all the way up to 20. So 6 is okay.
6 is not great. Jeff's
6 is
being
not
nice.
great. Yeah. So that means Sam, you're on the clock in the number 2 spot.
I honestly do not know anybody except for like maybe Eternal Sunshine. And even then it's not deep cuts at all. So this is going to be just a sweep for someone else. I'm going to take a guess, and this is not good to start out with taking a guess, but I'm going to take a guess at Mars Attacks. I literally haven't seen this since probably 1996 or 1997. And I, for the love of God, cannot remember his last name, but is Roseanne's ex Tom, is it Tom Arnold? Is he in that? Or am I getting a goose egg right off the top?
I think you're thinking maybe like Austin Powers. He was in that,
Okay,
but he is not in Mars Attacks. But he is in Las Vegas in, I think, the second Austin Powers movie.
Okay.
So sorry,
Which
Tom
we're
Arnold.
not doing any Austin Powers.
We are not
Ever?
doing Austin Powers. No.
Ever?
No, right now.
Right now,
No.
Sam. Right now. So 0 points for Sam with her guess
Yay.
of Tom Arnold. Chrissy, since you're going third, you get to make 2 guesses. You get to go first and second. So what's your first deep cut?
So my first deep cut. So I have to pick, is it anybody? So I can pick Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind?
Yeah, you can
do
jump
that?
around
Okay.
from movie to movie. If you can do one there, you can do one Mars Attacks, whatever you want, whatever works for you.
So can I pick an actor the same way Alex did?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Can I do Kristen Dunst?
Kristen Dunst as, the girl who I believe has had her mind wiped like a dozen times, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. She's the girlfriend.
Don't say it.
girlfriend.
Yes. Yeah. Don't say too much. Kirsten Dunst for 8 points. So that's a solid cut.
Is
So
that a pity
means,
point?
no. It's, I would show you, but yeah, she's down there at the bottom. All right, 8 points. So that means you get another deep cut guess. You get to go because we go up and down, back and forth through the 6 rounds. So what is your second deep cut, Chrissy?
Oh gosh, the only one I really know is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and all of them. Mars Attacks, I don't remember. All I remember is the alien in the little car. And Washington, D.C., from what I remember.
Those
So
are
many-
things in that movie, though, so she is right.
Well, I
She
remember
is
the
right.
visuals. I just don't remember
Yes.
obviously the plot line a little bit, but I do not remember like every single element of the plot line. Yeah, I just remember the robot women and the little alien guy with the brain.
Yeah, you can keep talking and it
You've
will not
gotten
hurt
hard
me
there.
at all. I just see the alien. That's it.
I mean, one of the aliens is a very famous actress, if anyone could remember that, but I don't want to give too much away.
One of the aliens,
I know.
like a voice.
No, there's a body. There's a female alien. And
Say more
like,
things, Jeff.
Yeah, say way more things. Also, Megamind.
She is the daughter of a famous musician and was married, if I'm not mistaken, to a famous musician.
That helps me 0%.
Oh, okay.
It helps
I mean,
me about
I'll tell you later, but
2%.
so Chrissy, what is your second deep cut?
So I'll say Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and then I'll just do an easy one, Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, yep, he is the star of that movie, so he's worth 1 point for Jim Carrey. That's okay. You're still in the lead. You're still in the lead, and it looks like Sam might score a 0 this game. So let's see.
She might really outdo herself and get. This is how bad it is. Like this is stressing me so much that I can't even remember the second person from Eternal Sunshine. Like I know what she looks like, and I know where she's from.
And I believe her name in the movie is Clementine, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably. Who it's
probably.
But she's definitely the lead in Titanic.
She is. All right. Kate Winslet. You're already there. You got it.
Thank you.
Kate Winslet.
Thank God. At least one.
Well, she's worth 2. So congratulations on 2 points. Alex, you get your second and your third deep cuts right here.
Okay. So I'm going to take 2 from Mars Attacks. 1 in Sam's honor, because there is a dog in this, and at one point it's played by Pierce Brosnan.
That's right. Yep. Pierce Brosnan for 4 points.
Oh, not high scorers here.
I mean, there's so many people in this movie. It's hard to give.
So,
not Tom Hardy.
I feel reasonably comfortable that I can do a swing, and if I'm wrong, that's fine. Is Jack Nicholson in it? Is he the president?
I mean, he's the president, and he's the big star in the movie, so it's not a swing.
Is he in it a lot?
I mean, he's the president.
Dude, I haven't seen it in 28 years.
No, you saw it with me in the theater when you and I saw Godzilla with Molly.
Oh, yeah, and then you fell asleep in Godzilla because it was a double bill, and you can't do those.
Yeah, it was midnight, and it was a black and white Japanese Godzilla film, and I fell asleep. I'm very sorry. Jack Nicholson is worth 1 point, Alex.
I'll take it. That's
so
fine.
It's not a big swing
points.
at all. Yes. Sam, we're back to you with your third.
How are we back to me so fast? Can you do me a kindness as a friend and tell me just the tiniest bit about Megamind, other than it's an animated superhero sort of movie, maybe?
Megamind is essentially the story of Superman, but told differently. 2 aliens arrive on Earth, both transmitted here the same way Superman did, in a capsule. They both end up on Earth. One ends up in an orphanage and becomes a villain. The other grows up and becomes essentially Superman. And then the villain somehow kills the hero, but then realizes his life is empty when there is no hero to fight. So he creates a new hero with DNA from the Superman character so he can fight him, thinking he'll be able to win this time, but he can't. And the new hero becomes a real jerk, and Megamind has to fight him and become the good guy himself.
And really,
he's doing it for a girl. Yeah, it's really good, and it's the biggest stars in Hollywood are in it, and he's really doing it because he likes a girl. He likes a girl,
as.
And I believe her famous line in the movie is something like "Girls, girls, girls, you're both pretty." Is her line in the movie. I'll tell you who it is later, but I can't tell you now. So that didn't help you out at all, Sam. The whole rundown of what the movie was.
No,
okay.
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
But I'm hoping that I'm just going to keep guessing and get zeros. This is going to be possibly the lowest scored game overall, it sounds like, and I'm excited to be part of it. So,
all right.
Let's go with Willem Dafoe.
Whoa, he's not in any of these movies, Sam.
For what movie,
he has
Sam?
an interesting voice.
He does. He's not in this film.
No, he's in Finding Nemo. That's what he's in.
He is in Finding Nemo.
He's got a star. Chrissy, we're back to you for your third deep cut, and then I'll give you guys a rundown of the points.
Don't worry.
Let me get my socks off so I can count past 10. This is going to be difficult. Chrissy, what's your third deep cut?
I'm trying to remember. Does it have to be just actors, right? That's
or actresses, or I mean, Sam has given us animals in the past. If you can somehow remember that there was a monkey in American Pie, or the name of the dog from The Burbs that is also the same dog in Silence of the Lambs, that would work too. I don't have any animals listed, so yes, you're looking for just actors. Sometimes the director shows up, but I don't believe the director of any of these films is in any of these movies. So
the only people that are left is the doctor's assistant. I can say this, right? I'm not doing any spoilers.
Yep, sure, go for it.
And the doctor. I can't remember the doctor's name.
There's so many more people in Eternal Sunshine.
Is
like
there?
there is.
Like,
Like,
she's right. That's the end of the list.
there's not. Oh my gosh.
We've said them all.
Like, I didn't circle many people. Like, sometimes I'll make a note, like, oh, make sure to mention this person after. But I didn't circle these people because I figured they were such big stars, someone would know them. And I don't want to like point fingers at Chrissy, but she did put this down as one of her favorite movies of all time.
I know. I'm like, and I do love it. I just haven't seen it recently.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's the thing. I'm like, I've watched it so many times, but I can't remember the doctor's name. He was so popular. And I thought that was it. Maybe I was missing other celebrities that showed up.
Can you give us anything else with the doctor's in?
Doctor,
Because
yeah.
I know who he is, and you're right. He's in a million things.
Yeah,
If you can
I
think of one of
mean,
them, you
yeah.
got it.
Oh, no.
I think there was a movie where like
this is how I bomb.
I think he
You're
I don't want to say,
better
but
than me.
he dances naked in one movie, if I'm not mistaken. He he's a villain in a Batman movie as well. He also, I believe that there's a movie from quite a while ago where he transitions and becomes a woman. Which was a good movie. I want to give it to her. Even though she hasn't said anything. All right, I got to give her, even though she said nothing, even close to his name or anything he was in, the actor's name is Tom Wilkinson.
Good job,
Tom
Chrissy.
Wilkinson. That's okay. I'll take a 0. I'm okay with that.
He's in the Full Monty. He's in the first Batman movie as the guy who is responsible.
And he's in Michael Clayton, and he's phenomenal in Michael Clayton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so Chrissy, I remember seeing him in so many films.
The unfortunate thing is,
name.
We're at the halfway point. Alex has 11. Sam has 2. And if we don't give Chrissy the points for Tom Wilkinson, she's at 9. If we do, she's at 15. So I'm going to put a little...
I think we can give her the points. That's fine.
Okay.
Yes.
No, it's okay. No, I don't want to...
Caring.
Chrissy...
I'm okay if I'm last. It's fine.
I would take them. If she wants to donate them, I'll take them. Because I'm going to need them.
There's no prize at the end, so don't feel bad about hurting anyone's feelings. The unfortunate thing is that means you have another pick, though. We're on the 4th round. Do you have another deep cut from any of these movies?
I don't. I think I'm deep cut out. Like, I don't know. I'm like, gosh, I feel like I know my movies, but now I'm like, I really don't know my new movies, apparently. I can't remember anyone from Mars.
Mars Attacks?
Mars Attacks, yeah. I'm trying to remember.
Like, I can kind of show you, but like, this is Mars Attacks.
That's
there's so many different celebrities.
Yeah.
I was just going to throw a name out there.
That has been Sam's strategy.
Yeah.
It's worked real well for me.
I mean, sometimes you just think of character actors who show up in a lot of things. Like, Willem Dafoe wasn't a bad guess because he's just in a lot of things. Like, so honestly, you could probably just throw out a name and
Is Chris Rock in it?
No, he is not in any of these movies.
Now it's a good time era for him.
Yes,
to be
totally.
In
and
stuff
especially
too.
for Megamind, like he could totally have done a voice in that for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sam, we're back to you for your 4th deep cut.
Oh, Lord. I really need the dunce cap this time for certain. When you were talking about the musician before, like the daughter, was that in Mars Attacks?
Yeah.
That person?
Yeah.
Daughter of a musician, married a musician. She's too young.
And maybe I'm thinking of the wrong person.
Which is very helpful then.
It'd be the funniest if it was the clue for the wrong actor.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
My cat has arrived. Yes.
I'm going to Google this person and just make sure that I am right.
I heard her dulcet tones back there. I was like, oh. cat coming to wish me. She's coming to wish me good luck. Probably not.
Yes, and if I'm not mistaken, she also has a famous musician daughter. So there's like musician dad, musician husband, musician daughter. I don't know
her
what else to
name
tell you.
is
Rhymes with Shamina Momo. Okay, it's a Tim Burton movie. I'm gonna say something, and then I'm gonna probably regret it. But he was also in Ed Wood. He's an older man. I think his name's Martin
Landau. You're thinking Martin Landau.
Yeah, he's not in it, is he?
He's not in this movie either.
Gosh,
but that's a good guess. That's a good guess.
I'm trying to guess people that might have worked with him in the past.
That's fair. I would say don't do that.
Oh, good.
I would say I don't see any of these people have worked in like Edward Scissorhands or Beetlejuice or anything like that. Not that are jumping out at me.
Oh, good.
Also, for some reason, I thought Sam was going to be like, he's in Ed Wood. He's an older man. Johnny Depp. Like,
yes.
No.
I see her.
Alex, you have your fourth and your fifth deep cuts.
Okay, so Mars Attacks again. Jack Black with his stupid crew cut hair.
He is as a soldier. Jack Black worth 12 points, Alex.
He's worth 12 points? In my head, he's the star of that movie.
What are you talking about?
Dude, I haven't seen it in so long.
Okay. Well, Jack Black's worth 12, Alex. What's your fifth deep cut?
Because I feel sad about Megamind.
And nobody guessing it? You're going to give us one?
And I feel confident that I can just like do a swing. But is the superhero Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt is the Superman of that world. Yeah. So like when I said
it's him or Clooney, and I'm like, I'm only 50% sure I'm right.
So he's worth 5 points. So yeah, like when I said it's A-list actors in this movie, Brad Pitt is like fourth billed, right? Like he has the fourth amount of screen time in this movie because he is dead for most of the film. So 5 points for Brad Pitt.
For one movie I'm never going to see.
Yes. Sam, what is your fifth deep cut?
And I can't just say the alien who goes like in the car because that's all I can see in my brain.
No, don't do that.
Is this the movie? And feel free to tell me no, because I might be thinking of Independence Day. Is this the movie where they literally blow up the White House? Or is that?
I mean, they blow that up in Independence Day. I think they blow it up in this too. Sam, there is one actress that appears in Beetlejuice. But unless you know who they are in Beetlejuice, you're not going to get any points for it. And it's not a person you would know by name. So this is a comedy, Sam. This one, I believe the aliens are killed when they hear the sound of yodeling.
Oh.
That is what kills them. So unlike Signs where it is water, it is yodeling that then gets blared over a loudspeaker by the heroes as they drive around the country playing yodel.
Is it like a famous yodeler by chance?
It's the Ricola guy.
Yeah.
Honestly, from the Ricola commercials.
Amazing. All right. I'm just going to take a guess with Megamind because I don't know any of these. So what's the difference? I'm getting a 2 anyway. So here we go. You're saying Brad Pitt is like the main dude. So then let's say who would be against Brad Pitt? I don't even know. I'm really trying to use logic of any kind. I'm just going to say Angelina Jolie. They were together for a while. Maybe they did something together.
And you know what?
That terrible Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Unless somebody likes it.
She also did DreamWorks movies. She was in Kung Fu Panda. She is not in this film, though, Sam. So nice
perfect. Try. You know what? I should have gone for a complete 0. I messed up.
Yeah, you shouldn't have even gotten Kate Winslet.
Too high, Sam.
Chrissy, you're probably like, oh my gosh, thank goodness. You're on your last 2 deep cuts, which you can give them to me right now. There's still a chance you could win this. Alex is by no means running away with this.
So you said in Mars Attacks, there's someone from Beetlejuice, but I think this is her name, Catherine O'Hara. Is that it? No. What's the Canadian?
Yes.
Catherine O'Hara is in Beetlejuice, but she is not in Mars Attacks.
I did write her down.
That's a good guess, though.
Like I said, I don't think anyone will know this woman's name,
I have
but
a
you will
guess if I
remember
have one
her
guess.
in Beetlejuice for sure. She's a pretty notable character.
Is she the wife?
I can't say anything,
It
Chrissy.
is the
Stop it.
wife. It is. It is the
Well,
wife.
Catherine. Oh no, because it's
Well, there's two wives.
well, it's Catherine
Right?
O'Hara is the live wife, and then it's sorry,
There's
the
a
tall
dead
woman.
wife.
Gina Davis.
Yes, that's what I was
Gina
thinking.
Davis, and it's not Gina Davis either. So don't say Gina Davis.
Crap.
Give
Okay.
me anyone else.
In Mars Attacks. Okay.
Well, you can say any movie.
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. No, but you know what? That was honestly closer to Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind with that guess than anywhere else. But he's not in any of these movies either. Sam, you have 2 points currently.
Great.
You are breaking all records unless you somehow.
No,
You-
I'm upset that I have 2. Actually, I really
Pull a
wanted-
20 right now and then win the game.
Yep.
Oh, can you imagine?
Because
still think
I
it
will
was-
say the person who's in 2 movies is a pretty notable actor and has a pretty notable role in both movies. And I'm going to tell you this right now, is in other DreamWorks films, if that helps.
Jim Carrey?
Well, we said Jim Carrey already. We've said
Chrissy,
Jack
said
Black
that.
Chrissy.
already.
I'm like, I don't know.
Chrissy, you said Jim Carrey in round 2, so
That's what
no
I
going
thought.
back.
That's what I thought. I was like, I'm Jim. Now I want to know. Tell
All right,
us.
Sam, what do you got?
The actress daughter thing is really making me crazy, and I'm sure as soon as you say it, I'm going to be like, gosh.
Oh yeah, you're all gonna feel really stupid, and
I
that's
feel pretty
favorite part
dumb
of this
right
game.
now. Okay, I am just going to go with the guess for the lady from Beetlejuice. I'm going to say, is she the lady who helps them in the office, like the older
holy
lady?
shit, Juno. Her name is Juno in
Yes.
Beetlejuice. Her name is Sylvia Sidney. She plays the grandmother that really loves yodeling music, and that her
Saves the
grandkids
day.
play it. Sylvia Sidney for 15 points.
Holy shit, Sam.
Well,
Wow.
guess who got out of the gutter just enough?
What a swing.
Alex, it's your last deep cut.
I'll do Megamind again because I honestly have nothing for anything else. Is Jonah Hill the camera guy?
Jonah Hill
Of
is
the
the camera
female
guy who then becomes a villain.
Oh. I didn't
So
know he
Jonah
was a
Hill
villain.
is like literally like, yeah, he's the one that the villain voiced by Will Ferrell turns into a hero. So Megamind, it's Will Ferrell, Brad Pitt, Tina Fey, Jonah Hill, David Cross is your crossover to Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. He's one of the other tech guys working on the brain wiping. Ben Stiller also does a voice in Megamind, as does J.K. Simmons and Justin Theroux.
Wow.
So
That is a cast.
it's a very good cast.
Indeed, Sam.
And the
yeah,
plot sounds good. Maybe I should watch it.
it's a very good animated film.
Okay.
I'll
You
give you
sold
the
me.
point total in a second. So Alex, Jonah Hill was worth 3, in case I didn't tell you. We got our Jim Carrey, Kate Winslet, Tom Wilkinson, Elijah Wood from Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. David Cross was also in it. You got Kirsten Dunst. I would say the big one that you were missing was Mark Ruffalo is also in that film as
In
one
Eternal
of the other.
Sunshine?
Yeah, there's like
forgot about him
3
being in
guys in the room doing the tech. He's like Elijah Wood's
Right.
partner, and they're doing the thing in, I think, his bed. It's in Jim Carrey when he's being brain.
Yeah, he's one of the
wiped.
assistants.
Yes.
Really?
So Mars Attacks. Jack Nicholson is the president. Glenn Close is his wife. Annette Bening is in it. Danny DeVito, Martin Short. I believe Pierce Brosnan gets his head put on a dog's body.
Yes.
And then a
Yeah.
woman gets her body with a dog's head. And that's Sarah Jessica Parker.
Okay.
Michael J. Fox is also in the movie. Rod Steiger, Tom Jones. The kid who plays the yodeling music is Lucas Haas, the kid from Witness. Natalie Portman is also in this movie, for Christ's sakes. The daughter of a famous musician who married a musician who had a musician daughter was also married to Nicolas Cage. Her name is Lisa Marie Presley.
Mm.
Pam
Who directed
Grier.
it?
One of your favorite directors of all time, that would be Tim Burton.
I didn't realize Tim Burton directed that.
Burton. I was really trying to serve you up a
Jeez.
softball. Yeah.
I know. Sorry, I should have known better. I'm like, I've watched a majority of his work. I have not watched that. Like, I've seen it kind of, but I don't think I don't really remember it. But that's why it's such a star-studded cast.
Oh yeah, it's huge. Christina
That makes
Applegate
sense.
also has a
Yeah.
small part, and Ron Howard's dad, Rance Howard. And then if you just Alex, anytime there's aliens, just always say Frank Welker, the voice actor that does like Scooby Doo and stuff like that, because he's in everything. And also Roger Jackson, the voice from Scream, is like a digital voice in the movie. I would say well done, players, but that was terrible.
So this was the practice round, and now we're gonna do the real movie.
So now I don't feel bad giving Chrissy the points for Tom Wilkinson, because that puts her at 15 if we give her Tom Wilkinson. Sam, with your 15 points with Sylvia at the end there, gives you 17.
Oh,
Alex, you had your Jack Black gave you 12. That's 18, 22, 23, 28, 31 for Alex. So
that's all right.
Bad. It's okay. It's respectable.
Relatively speaking, it's very good.
So I was really hoping Chrissy was going to win, because what we do give the winners is an opportunity to suggest the next guest. And,
that we'll never get.
But sometimes, someone like Chrissy might have been like, oh, you could try this person, and then they would reach out to them for me. That's never worked either. But unfortunately, Alex is one. So Alex, who do you think we should get as our next guest? I know last week you said Bill Hader. I haven't heard back from him. It's weird.
That's
he's
a shame.
He's not on any social medias, so I don't know. I've tried, just putting it out there to his friends, and no one's responded.
Just shout it in the woods and see if he answers.
That's how you get a hold of Bill Murray. So I assume that's also how you get a hold of all other Bills, Hader included.
Yes. What would be your suggested Deep Cuts guest, Alex?
In honor of Megamind and the fact that we're recording this on October 3rd, Mean Girls Day, let's try for Tina Fey.
Tina Fey, very nice. Girls, you're both pretty. Tina Fey, sure. Yeah, I mean, why not, Alex? Go big or go home, right? Sam, what's going on with you? You got anything you want to promote?
No, not really. I love saying that every time, because it always just deflates. Jeff going, no, nothing. I got nothing going on.
And that's why I started with you, because I figured.
Yeah, I am just like deep into spooky season. I am decorating for Halloween. I'm watching a lot of scary movies, some of which are really just like, what? These are trash, but they're still fun. And you do think to yourself, I could have used that 90 minutes for almost anything else, but I saw that, so that's done now.
I mean, you could have played a half a game of Deep Cuts and scored 11 points, so that would have been
And can I ask, are you and your lesser half doing the full house decoration outside, where you like try to scare the children in the neighborhood? Is that happening again this year?
So most years I do. I have stopped that though, because it's wasted, because we get like 3 kids. So it's really just me giggling, putting it up for like a week and a half, and then nobody showing up, and then me being sad. And then the kids that do show up don't want to come to the door because it's too scary. And so then I'm just left with a bunch of candy.
Honestly, it sounds like a win-win-win.
Yeah, win-win.
No, but and then I had to take it down, and I'm like, I did this for me then. So no, I stopped doing that.
Chrissy Newton, I want to thank you again for being on the show. You have a lot of things I'm sure to promote, but what would you like to direct people to? This will start airing. This is going to air this weekend. So what's coming up with you?
So people can go to chrissynewton.com if they want to see like my body of work, or they can read all my articles like science and technology at thedebrief.org. And I swear I just saw someone in my backyard that scared the crap out of me. I know, it's why I did that like weird look where I was like, hold on for a second. I know it actually had a moment where I was like, just wait. Like that's how I end my life. You guys hear it on a Deep Cuts podcast.
Yeah, everybody stay on camera.
Yeah, exactly. Just in case.
Becomes host.
Yeah, seriously. But I was going to say a great guest would be Richard Krause if you guys haven't had him yet. He would have the best Deep Cuts knowledge ever. Yeah.
He shouldn't be allowed.
I'm going to write his name down too. But yeah, I mean.
Unless he wants to team up with me, he shouldn't be allowed.
He would kill it. He would kill it. He would be so hard to win against. I would imagine. If he didn't, then I'd be like, "Do you really know film, Richard?"
Yeah, I feel like he'd fully just demolish everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alex Young, well, what do you got going on? for this spooky season?
Oh, Jeff, where do I begin? I got nothing. Come on, man. You know. No, I will direct everybody to support their local rep cinemas. If you're in Toronto, the Fox Review, the third one they forget, Paradise. Feel bad about that. As well as if you live in a city with a video store, support it. Go buy physical media. But other than that, no, I got nothing to direct anyone to. I mean, I'm going to do a lot of like spooky stuff coming up. I'll talk about that on upcoming shows, but it's nothing to promote. They're not my events. I'm just going to go for fun.
Okay. Well, I have a podcast, so if you haven't listened to it yet, weird, because we're at the very end of episode 21. So somehow you got here and didn't know about it. This is the part of the show where Alex sends me an outro for the episode that I have never read before, and he usually makes me say something mean about myself. So let's see what he's done today.
Not mean today, Jeff. And also, you gave me a lot of guff last time for like kind of phoning them in, because I was. So I'm sending you one now, and if you want to put a lot of energy behind it, or if you're inspired to do any sort of accent, that would be fine too.
What kind of accent? I don't want to look at it.
Renaissance-y.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was literally going to say, go with whatever your heart tells you.
I would like to thank our contestants, Sam and Chrissy. Congratulations to this week's winner, Alex. And of course, thanks to my co-host, Alex Young. Forsooth, and just a most courageous squire, hark ye, friends, and bid farewell to this hour, wherein we have delved into realms of wonder and intrigue. May the seeds of knowledge sown within our hearts flourish and bear fruit. Revel with us on social parchments or anywhere you hear mine words. I'm Jeff Penn. Until we meet again, fare thee well. Thanks very much, everyone, for playing. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye.